Hello everyone and welcome to St Clair Sports Park for today's OCAA softball matchup between the Lambton Lions and the Fanshawe Falcons. Justin Prince with you as we get ready for the second of three games in play today at the Sports Park. Earlier today, Lambton losing 14-0 to St Clair, looking to turn things around against the Falcons, who come into today 2-0 on the season. This round robin continues on here today. Here's a look at the Lambton Lions lineup for today. Starting things off in the lineup is Danny Ramsire. Then it is Brooklyn Hunter, third baseman, followed by Megan Mottinger. Ashley Kelly, who missed the first of these games at first base, fourth in the lineup. Cleanup, the center fielder Bryce Knight. Then Erica Irwin, followed by Peyton Choi, Grace Robson, and Holly Peters rounding out the lineup. Holly Peters, the right fielder, the 10 players set to square things off today. The designated player of note is again Jordy Smith. Getting things set to go for her first appearance on the rubber this season is Julia Smith. Julia Smith last season 2-6 for Fanshawe with a 5.37 ERA and 6 starts and 9 appearances, 3 complete games. Let's take a look at the weather conditions. The clouds have been circulating above the ballpark for much of the day today. They are back for this matchup at a 22 degrees Celsius day, feeling like 28. The wind gust reaches high as about 19 kilometers an hour. The humidity at a balmy 83%. Smith continues to warm up and looks to start off well this campaign for her 2022 season.
Leading off for the Lambton
Last
Lions,
season, 46 runs allowed on the rubber, 23 strikeouts and 21 walks. She'll start things off against Denny Ramsire. The first matchup of the day for Fanshawe, the second for Lambton. All set to go here on We Did It All. All set to go. We're underway from Windsor. In for a strike, 0-1. 12:57 p.m. the opening pitch for this matchup. Swing and miss. Second strike, 0-2. 0-2 the current count. Up at the plate. And a swing and miss, strike 3. Ramsire, who went 0-2 earlier today, starts off 0-1 with a strikeout. That brings up Brooklyn Hunter. Hunter fouls it away to start things off 0-1. Hunter earlier today 0-2 with a strikeout as part of 3 straight strikeouts by St. Clair and their pitching staff to end the last game in Mercy Rule. Strike 2 up top. There's swing and miss. 0-2 the current count. And this time into the turf, 1-2. Fouled away, keeps the count alive, 1-2. Glad to have you with us here on We Did It All. Lambton taking on Fanshawe. The second of 3 games as part of a mini round robin tourney today. Dribbled in for a hit. The throw goes wild but kept by the catcher. So Brooklyn Hunter gets aboard with the single, first hit of the day, and the third total hitter for Lambton overall. That brings up Megan Mottinger. Starts off with a strike, 0-1. Runner at first with one out. This one goes below the knees for a ball, 1-1. One and one is the count. That one misses for ball 2, 2-1. Up high, misses, 3-1. On deck, Smith. This one in for strike 2. This one just getting a piece of it for a foul tip. That one going high above the zone at the time, but still 3-2. And they're foul away. Stays 3-2. Trying to look after it. Called ball 4. So Moninger aboard with a walk. 2 runners aboard with 1 out. That brings up Smith. Jordy Smith, 1 for 2 earlier today with a single and a flyout. Up high to start, fastball. 1-0. That time above the zone again, 2-0. Hunter at second, Moninger at first. 1 away in the top of the first inning here on We Did It All. That one called, strike 1. Trying to aim for the bottom corner, misses, 3-1. Ashley Kelly on deck. Lambton trying to build their first rally of the day. A swing and miss, strike 2. Full count, 3-2. As talked about earlier today, a brand new program for Lambton College, led by Greg Short as their head coach. This time in for a hit. Over the head of McLean that time, along with Hunter. And the bases are loaded with 1 out.
22, Ashley Kelly.
Smith gets aboard with her second hit of the day. Out of the reach of the third baseman and shortstop. That'll bring up Ashley Kelly. And a discussion up on the rubber as things start to spiral. Remember, 64 hits allowed last campaign for Julia Smith. Majority of the team's losses were when she had appeared in the game for Fanshawe. She'll stay on the rubber with the bases loaded for Ashley Kelly. As mentioned, Ashley Kelly missing earlier today's game with an injury scratch. This one starts off with a foul tip. 0-1. Ashley Kelly from Oil Springs. Part of a flurry of commitments back in February. Strike two. Came the way of Lambton Central Collegiate and Vocational Institute in Sarnia. Part of London Lightning's fastball program where she was a catcher and third baseman. Down in the turf. Lambton comes in to score. And for the first time today, Lambton is on the board. Bouncing way off the catcher, Laura Holt. And a run comes in to score for the first time today for Lambton. Fouled away down the right field line and out. Setting things up 1-2 towards the right fielder and caught. Katie Berg with the catch. That keeps the runners at second and third with two away.
The center fielder, number 1, Bryce Knight.
See the contact, but in the right spot at the right time, Berg. That brings up the center fielder, Bryce Knight. Starts off with one below the knees, 1-0. Bryce Knight, 0 for 2 earlier today with 2 groundouts. Looking to extend Lambton's first rally of this Sunday. Up high. Throw back to third. Called safe. 2-0. Lambton with their second run of the season earlier in the inning on the bouncing ball in the turf. 1-0 Lambton to score with 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Inside. Called strike one. This time below the knees into the turf. Stopped in time by Laura Holt, however. 3-1. Erica Irwin on deck. This one goes to the backstop. Ball 4 called. A runner moves up to score.
Now batting the second baseman, number 3, Erica Irwin.
And Irwin comes to the plate with a 2-0 advantage for Lambton. Lambton rallying. Irwin sets things up at the plate. Starting off speed for the strike, 0-1. And a stolen base on the play. Knight picks up the stolen bagger. Swings and misses for the second strike, 0-2. Irwin originally from Nova Scotia. It's a team back in late January. Gets a piece of it. Popped up. Claying the shortstop picks it up. And the sign is retired.
For
the Lambton Lions picking up their first runs of the day. 2 runs come home to score. In the top of the first to the bottom of the first we go here on We Digital right after this. Welcome back again to St Clair Sports Park as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Lambton up 2-0 over Fanshawe. The Lions getting all set to go with Peyton Choi on the rubber for this matchup. The first pitching appearance of the season. She'll be taking on the Lambton Lions, rather the Fanshawe Falcons offense that had some sparklers of players at times last season. In fact, they had a couple All-Stars in 2021. Again, Choi's first appearance of the season. Things finishing up on the rubber as Fanshawe gets all set to go to the plate. Leading things off at the bottom of the first inning will be the first baseman, Paige Askew. Followed on the lineup by the right fielder, Katie Berg.
The first baseman,
Then it's the center fielder, and Kennedy Roth. Starting things off with the ball, 1-0. It's Paige Askew. That one watched for ball 2. 2-0, the count. Paige Askew last season hit .377 for Fanshawe. So that one goes into the turf, 3-0. Askew with 8 walks last season, 16 RBIs. 20 hits. Katie Berg on deck. And Askew has walked for the first time today. That brings up the right fielder, Katie Berg. Taking a look at the lineup card in full, Morgan Lowry is playing shortstop for this one. Then it's Jada Dockstader, followed by Brandy Hunter, Emily Jamison, Julia Smith, and Laura Holt, as mentioned, is the flex/catcher. Starting things off for this count, 1-0. Berg to left field. Getting a beat on it is Moninger. Runner stays at first with 1 out. Moninger previously played center base, or center field, previous matchup. That brings up Kennedy Ruff. Bounces in the turf. Runner stays at first, however, 1-0. Ruff last season was the batting champion for the OCAA, hitting .552. Smoked past the third baseman. Bobbled around by Moninger in left. And a runner moves up to second, and an additional one gets to first. With 1 out still. First hit of the game for Fanshawe. That brings up Jenna McLean, who starts off with a foul ball to the grandstand. Smacks down for strike 1. Askew at second, Roth at first. Fouled away for strike 2. Oh, and 2 to the count. McLean past the pitcher into center field. It goes to the wall. 1 run scores. A 2-run double for Jenna McLean.
Now batting your designated
Jenna McLean had brought in 18 runs last season, bringing in 2 in this one. Just out of the reach of Joy. That brings up the designated player, Morgan Lowry. Lowry pops it up. Played by Ramsier. Short. That picks up out number 2. Jada Dockstader coming up to the plate. Starts off speed in for strike 1. Dockstader, a first-year player from Southwold. Watches that one below the knees this time, trying to hit the same spot. 1-1. McLean still at second with 2 outs at the bottom of the first inning. Fouled away over the screen. That rolls its way towards Acumen Stadium for strike 2. The 1-2, smack to left center field. Another run comes in to score an RBI single. Dockstader was aboard with 2 out. That will bring up Randy Hunter. Hunter moved to center and tracked down by Knight. And the side is retired. Fanshawe takes the lead. 3 hits picked up in the inning as the Falcons take a 3-2 advantage into the top of the second inning here on We Digital.
Every child should learn how to swim, for health, for safety, and for fun. That's why we've started Canada's Swim Team. Learn to swim at least 25 meters on your own, and you're on the team. Canada's Swim Team. It's that easy. Help make us the world's largest swim team by adding your name at getswimming.ca. Ask your parents first. Swimming, the only sport that can save your life.
Some of the Fanshawe fans making their way up Highway 401 from the 4 City to the Road City for today's matchup. As we get ready for the top of the second inning, Lambton trailing by 1 to the Falcons. Lambton picking up a rally to start things off in the game with 7 batters. Peyton Joy will lead things off in this inning, followed by Grace Robson. All set to go for the top of the second. Starting off with one tapped around, called strike one. Choi had a pop-up and a 3 unassisted earlier today. This one chopped foul, this time down the right field line for strike two. Into a rhythm. Smith just misses the outside part of the plate. 1-2. Lambton so far matching their hit total from the previous game against St. Clair, having the most runs scored so far as a program in a game. Fouled away, stays 1-2. They lost to Durham yesterday, 13-0 for reference. Then 11-1 to Humber. Swing and miss, strike three. Choi sat down on strikes, the second strikeout for Smith today. That brings up the catcher and the pitcher from last game, the starter, should say. Grace Robson. Robson 0 for 2 as well in the last matchup against St. Clair. Strike one called on the outside part of the plate. Smith gets the sign for the 0-1. Popped up. Smith takes it herself. That sets up
The shortstop, number 15,
the top of the order.
Danny Ramsire.
Danny Ramsire. Back up to the plate. Last time up, struck out. One of two players. This program from St. Michael's Catholic Secondary School in Shakespeare, as that one goes to the turf near Legetta Indoor, 1-0. To center field. Roth tracks it down. And a 1-2-3 inning this time.
No runs, no hits, no one left.
That'll bring us to the bottom of the second inning. Fanshawe holds on to a 3-2 advantage over Lambton here on We Digital.
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So far, both teams have traded at least a 7-batter rally. Fanshawe and the Falcons lead by 1. However, after their rally in the bottom of the first inning, they come up to the plate for the bottom of the second here. Emily Jamison will lead things off for this inning.
Emily Jamison.
Keep in mind, Fanshawe started off the campaign with an 8-3 victory against the Seneca Sting. Currently with an undefeated record entering today, the Falcons have from yesterday's matchups. To left field. And not able to get a track on it, it is Moninger in the sun. That's called a double. Jamison is aboard to start off the inning. That will bring up the pitcher, Julia Smith. Smith fouls it away down the left field line to start. 0-1. The 0-1. Rolls toward this time. Runner goes. No throw to third, however. Jamison gets a stolen base. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Popped up. But into the grandstands. That makes it 1-2. One and two for Julia Smith. Jamison at third. Nobody out. Smith off to center field, tracked down by Knight. For the first out of the inning, to Showell for the sacrifice, however.
Number 1, Paige Askew.
That brings up Paige Askew. Askew started off this game with a walk. Askew to left center, in for a base hit. Askew picks up the RBI,
Number 5,
and Fanshawe takes a 4-2 lead. That brings up Katie Berg. Stratford, Ontario, hometown player, flew out last time to left. Going for the bunt. No play at first. An infield single for Katie Berg.
The center fielder, number 6, Kenny Roth.
That will bring up Kennedy Ross. Down low to start. 1-0. Roth last time up hit a single. Start off her game, her day. Roth thinking about bunt. Pulls it back, however. 2-0. 2-0 is the count. Hit directly to the pitcher. Thrown over to first to Kelly. But the runners advance to second and third on the play. 2 outs. A 1-3 ground out for Roth. So that brings up McLean, who doubled to start off her day. Starts off in the turf, 1-0. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. bottom of the second inning. McLean to center, to the fence, bounces over for a ground rule double. 2 runs come in with the ground rule double.
Number 12.
McLean has 2 of them for the day. That makes it 6-4. That bounces all the way to the Fanshawe faithful, set up at center. That brings up Morgan Lowry as already discussion up on the rubber. Lowry popped up to the shortstop, the last time up at the plate. Starts off with watching the off-speed pitch. 0-1. This time too high. 1-1. 1-1. McLean at second, 2 away. Off speed way high. 2-1. Ball bouncing away from Choi for a moment. But we're able to keep the runner staying at second. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2. Down the left field line, but foul. Count remains 2-2. Lowry, last year's softball pitcher of the year for OCAA action. Solid performance on the rubber. One of the team's 2 All-Stars. Swings and misses here, however. And the side is retired on the strikeout. Fanshawe extends the gap 6-2. Now the advantage with 7 hits on the day so far. Lambton trails by 4 here on We Digital.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
The Dogs continuing to multiply in their attendance here at the ballpark today. As we enter the top of the 3rd inning, Fanshawe up 6-2 over Lambton. Justin Prince with you here on We Digital as we get ready for the top of the 3rd inning. The heart of the lineup coming up for Lambton. Hunter, Moninger, Smith leading things off for the Lions as we begin this frame.
Leading off the top of the 3rd. Third baseman, number 10, Brooklyn Hunter.
Hunter, last time up, started the hitting for Lambton in this game. A single started a rally for the Lions in the top of the 1st inning. Starts off missing, 1-0. Fouled away, stays to 1-1. This time bounces behind her. 2-1. Two and one for Brooklyn Hunter. Up high, misses. To a hitter's count, 3-1. Bonninger on deck. And Hunter gets aboard with a walk. Runner aboard with nobody out for Bonninger. Ball starting to continue now to pick up for Smith, 1-0. This time breaks the ball streak with the strike, 1-1. Streak about 5 straight balls prior to that pitch. The 1-1. Up above the letters, misses 2-1. Throw over to first, called safe. This one bounces in the turf. Moving over to second is Hunter. So another 3-1 count, back-to-back counts going to that mark. Smith on deck. Slap to right field. Tracked down, however, by Askew at first.
The designated player, number 25, Jordy Smith.
And that brings the first out of the inning. Jordy Smith now up to the plate, singled last time up. Starts off with a one towards the heart of the plate, 0-1. Hunter at second, one away. Top of the third inning. Dribbled over to short. Throw to first. Gets one. Throw back to third. Not in time.
First baseman, number
6-3 ground out to start the play. That brings up Ashley Kelly. Kelly, deeper to right field, just out of the reach of a tracking Berg. Strike one now, up on the count. The 0-1 in for strike two. Hunter at third. The 0-2. Misses. Look back over to third. No throw comes in, however, 1-2. Bowed away, stays 1-2. The 1-2 once more. This time, hit straight into the glove of Hunter. And the side is retired. Four batters come up to the plate. One gets aboard, but no runs come in to score. 6-2 on We Digital. More coverage after this.
The bottom of the third we go.
For every big breath, for every little breath, and for every breath in between, Ontario Power Generation is committed to keeping Ontario's air clean. That's why the power we generate is 99% free of smog and carbon emissions. Because clean air matters to us all.
A look over at the Lambton Lambton Lions bus, should say, parked over in right center field. So we enter the bottom of the third inning. Let's take a look at some of the scores from yesterday's matchups as Lambton lost to the Durham Lords, as talked about, 13-0. Start off their program's history.
Leading off for the Falcons.
They're still searching for their first victory. Their history.
Second baseman number 15, Jada Dockstader.
Leading things off is Jada Dockstader, watching a strike 0-1, followed in the lineup by Hunter, then Jamison. Dockstader last time up singled in the first inning. Goes inside, misses 1-1. The 1-1. Over to shortstop, Irwin to Kelly. 4-3 ground out to start off the inning, 1 out. Now bring up Hunter. Hunter chops it to the infield for a base hit. Hunter puts on the brakes. Hunter gets aboard
Emily Jamison.
with 1 out. Now bring up Emily Jamison. Gets underneath this one. Down the left field line, in for extra bases. Jamison gets to second. Up to third goes Hunter. Both runners in scoring position with 1 out. 2 doubles for Jamison now. Keep up with McLean's total from the first and second innings. This one going about 197 feet. Up at the plate, Julia Smith, as this one gets away. Run comes in to score. Fanshawe now leads 7-2. Jamison up to third. 1-0 the count. Missing on the swing and the miss. Julia Smith with a 1-1 count. Watches that one miss the top of the corner. 2-1. Looking outside, gets the strike this time. 2-2. The 2-2. Strike 3 called. Smith sat down with the second strikeout for Choi. 2 outs. As Fanshawe heads to the top of the lineup card. Paige Askew comes up to the plate. Single last time up in the second. Getting the very tip of that one, 0-1. OCAA softball action, Lambton and Fanshawe here from the St Clair Sports Park. For those just tuning in, 7-2 your score. Lambton started off with a 2-run rally at the top of the first. Fanshawe has responded quickly. Up to center field and caught to close out the inning. 7-2 the score. 1 run comes in to score this time around. Fanshawe leads by 5 here on We Digital from the St Clair Sports Park in Windsor, Ontario.
No, I never smoked any. Sure, I smoked a bit, but it was more your mom who was into it. Pot grows naturally, but it won't help you grow as a person.
Talking cannabis with your teen can be learned. Download our free brochure.
You know what? Poison ivy grows naturally, but it's not good for you, is it?
Find the answers you need at drugfreekidscanada.org.
Local at the St. Clair College campus. Classes started just in the past week here in Windsor. Post-secondary school getting underway across the province. Entering the top of the 4th inning, Fanshawe leading 7-2. Looking to keep things rolling here. Lambton looking to try and get things started for the win column at least. As mentioned, winless so far today, winless yesterday. They took on Humber, lost 11-1. It's part of their 2 games on Saturday. Starting things off, Bryce Knight, then Erica Irwin, Peyton Choi.
Your attention, please. Now playing second base for Fanshawe, number 9, Sarah Redding. Pitcher is number 15, Jada Dockstader.
Sarah Redding has moved into second base to start things off for the inning. Starting things off for this one. New pitcher. He picks up the first out of the inning. Up on the rubber, this is Dockstader, who has shuffled to that spot. That brings up Irwin. Popped up. Strike one signaled in turn on the pop. Irwin so far a pop-up to the shortstop earlier. Fouled away again, strike 2. Oh, 2 for Irwin. This one fouled away again. 0-2. The 0-2 again. Popped up. Over top the press box. We'll do 0-2 once again. 0-2 again. Misses this time. 1-2. Swing and miss. However, it goes into the turf. They're over to first, not in time. So a strikeout and an error for the catcher. Runner aboard. Now for Choi. Choi last time up struck out. Swing and a miss as this goes to the backstop. Passed ball for Holt. Moving up to second is Irwin. Oh, 1 the count. Strike 2 called. 0-2. Docs there taking her time for this next pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Choi is sat down for the second time on strikes. That brings up Robson. Robson a pop-up to the pitcher last time. Chopped to shortstop. They're over to first in time, and the side is retired. 6-3 ground out ends off the inning. Sends us to the bottom of the frame in turn. Still 7-2. After 3.5 innings of play here on Wheat Digital, Fanshawe leads 7-2 from Windsor. Welcome back to Windsor for more coverage of OCAA softball. Fanshawe leads 7-2 as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning. Look at some of the scores from yesterday as St. Clair started off the season with a victory over Conestoga 17-2. St. Clair, of course, now 3-0 on the campaign after that start to the season.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th, the right fielder number 5.
All set to start off the bottom of the 4th inning. Katie Berg leads things off, followed by Kennedy Raw, followed by Jenna McLean. Starting things off with a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Over top the first baseman and Kelly. Throw in by Peters. Able to hold it to a single. Berg is aboard for her second hit of the game.
The center fielder, number 6.
Berg now 2 for 30 today. That brings up Roth. Roth to left center field, bounces off of Knight. Saved, however, by Moninger. Runners at second and third with nobody out.
The shortstop, number 10, Jenna McLean.
Single and an error on the play. So that brings up McLean. McLean so far 2 doubles. Looking for a bit of power. Instead fouls it away for the first strike, 0-1. That one gets away. The runner comes to home. Called out. Able to get back to it in time on the passed ball. 2 UA on the play. 1-1 the count up at the plate. McLean in for a base hit. And a run this time does score. An RBI single for Jenna McLean.
Lowry.
Up at the plate now, Morgan Lowry. Lowry smacked to third. Played by Hunter. Throw to Kelly at first for the second out.
The pitcher, number 15, Jada Dockstader.
Just able to reach over to it in time. Get the play by a couple strides. The swing now by Jada Dockstader to the outfield. Brings in a run. And a second base hit by Dockstader. 9-2 the score in the bottom of the 4th inning. That brings up Mirandi Hunter. Hunter to left field. Moninger tracks it down. And with some sunglasses this time, the sun is retired. After the bottom of the 4th inning, Fanshawe extends the gap. 9-2 the score here on We Digital.
Every child should learn how to swim for health, for safety, and for fun. That's why we've started Canada's Swim Team. Learn to swim at least 25 meters on your own, and you're on the team. Canada's Swim Team. It's that easy. Help make us the world's largest swim team by adding your name at getswimming.ca. Ask your parents first. Swimming, the only sport that can save your life.
Look over at Acumen Stadium just across the way here at the Sports Park. Softball complex here at St. Clair College. Entering the top of the 5th inning, 7-run advantage currently for Fanshawe. Yesterday, mentioning the scores from that matchup. On some of those teams involved in yesterday's round robin, St. Clair picked up a 12-2 victory over the Mohawk Mountaineers. They'll take on Fanshawe later on this afternoon. Starting things off with the swing and the miss is the top of the order. Ramsire leads things off, followed by Hunter Moninger. Dockstader picks up the strike, 0-2. Quickly working to 0-2. Swing and miss, strike 3. For the second time, Ramsire is struck out for the first out.
Number 10, Brooklyn Hunter.
Up the plate now, Brooklyn Hunter. A hit and a walk so far. Swings and misses through this one to start, 0-1. Dockstader deals the 0-1. Swing and a miss and one in the turf. That makes it 0-2. 5 straight strikes to start. The 0-2 for Hunter. Fouled away. Stays 0-2. Dockstader once again. Back-to-back strikeouts. Hunter is sat down for the second out.
The left fielder, number 13, Megan Moniger.
I'll bring in Megan Moniger. Starts off with a fastball missing. 1-0. Towards the heart of the plate. Hit to shortstop. Trouble fielding it. And the inning is extended.
Designated player, number 25.
Runner gets aboard with 2 away. Moninger now at first. Smith coming up to the plate. Smith starts off with a strike. And a throw over. Smith 1 for 2 on the game today. Swings through this one. Strike 2. Setting up for the pitch. Down into the turf for the ball. Throw back over to first. 2-2 on the scoreboard. To 2-2. Down the right field line, diving forward, not able to make it. Runners move to the corners. And Jordy Smith with her second single of the game continues to build some momentum now with 2 outs. That brings up the Ashley Kelly slot. Looks like there is a change now. Jalen Noah George.
Attention please, pinch hitting for the Lions, number 27, Jayla Noah George.
Noah George struck out twice earlier today. This one in for a base hit. And a run comes in to score. It's 9-3.
The center fielder, number 1, Bryce Knight.
That will bring up Bryce Knight. Knight hit to right field and brought down for the fly out, and the side is retired and the rally is broken up. After the top of the 5th inning, Lambton trails by 6. Fanshawe with a 9-3 advantage
For the Lions.
so far here in Windsor.
Top of the 5th, it was a run on 3 hits, 2 runners left on base.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
A pitching change coming in for the bottom of the 5th inning for the Lambton Lions. Knight has moved to the rubber. Will now try and keep this game at bay. Six runs the advantage so far for the Falcons over the Lions here in this one. Bryce Knight from Moretown, Ontario, looking to try keep things tight.
Your attention please, now pitching for the
Multiple
number 1, Bryce
changes
Knight.
coming in through this sequence. We'll go through those in just a moment.
Leading off for
Jamison
Lambton,
leading things off for the inning. Starts off with a 1 above the zone, 1-0.
Check that. Leading off is number 3, left fielder number 3, Emily Jamison.
This one fouled away for the first strike, 1-1. Amongst the changes, note, Noah George moving over to first. As well, a change at the catcher spot. Rowan has moved to the catcher position. Looped around to third. Throw for Robson to first. Not in
Now
time.
batting the second baseman number 9, Sarah Redding.
E5 to start. Robson coming from the catcher spot to third base. to make the play as that brings up Sarah Redding. Going for the steal. The throw to second. Not in time. Jamison gets to second. Already a change for the player on deck. That one's thrown for the second ball, 2-0. Lauren Frazier has been moved to the on-deck circle. Inside tightly, 3-0. The 3-0. That one misses for the walk. Redding is aboard.
Number 14.
Nobody out.
Lauren Frazier.
Runners at first and second. Lauren Frazier up to the plate for the first time today. Swings at this one to start. 0-1. 0-1 for Frazier. It's time in for strike number 2. Way up high, missing for the ball, 1-2. And again, trying to hit it up top, off speed, missing, 2-2. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Frazier to right center, out of the reach of the outfielders. Trying to make the play is Peters. Throw gets to the cutoff man. Run does come in. Runners at the corners for a single.
Batting number 2, Cameron Lamont.
Just out of the reach of Peters, a utility player for this team. Now bring in Cameron Lamond. One and 0 down the line, fouled. 1-1. Lamond last season, 8 for 40 up at the plate, hitting 200. 2021. A chance to bring in an RBI here. She had 6 in last campaign. The 1-1 gets a bit underneath it. In for a base hit. An RBI single for Lamond.
The center fielder, number 6, Kenny Ross.
Fanshawe extends the gap. 11-3. That brings up Roth. Roth a couple singles today. Starts off watching a ball, 1-0. Looking tight, but in for the strike. 1-1. By the way, an update for OCAA baseball. Score 5-1, St. Clair over Humber in the first of the doubleheader there. Single brings in a run, and Fanshawe 1 run away from the mercy rule.
The shortstop.
Roth with a third hit on the day. After the squeeze, right past. Play at second, Hunter. That brings up Jenna McLean. McLean to left field, down the line, and out. Fanshawe with a 3-run home run to put the exclamation point on this one. Fanshawe with a 3-run home run closes it out. 15-3 the final. McLean a triple away from the cycle, with lots of momentum to build for the final game of this triple header at the St. Clair Sports Park in just a little bit. Lambton done for the day. They are 0-4 now in 2022. Fanshawe 3-0 as they will take on the 3-0 St. Clair Saints in just a bit. With that, it's time to say goodbye for now. For the rest of our crew, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We'll see you for the next matchup. Fanshawe St. Clair coming up approximately 3:30 p.m. Eastern.